one most remote island in the world.
Yes.
And I think that has a special responsibility for us that live here.
Yes.
Because we're very isolated and we really need to look after each other.
We do. Yes.
It's not like a big place like the States or Canada. We're very, very isolated. Yes, we do.
So we're collaborating with each other, whether you're in this third world sector or a private sector or a neighbor. We're all in this together.
We're isolated in terms of a small island, probably the second most remote island in the world, with just 60,000 people. But we have a lot of obvious assets, but we have a lot of history, etc. But if we could develop an idea of collaboration in its true sense, which I think is a big part of who we are, then we can be able to transform this community in a very real way. What people like Rosa Parks demonstrates that ordinary people are the ones who can make a difference, and collaboration and that's how we got this far. That not necessarily specialists or whatever, but ordinary people working together up to transform the world.
If I was to tag on to that, I would say that I would like to see the honest conversations that have to happen to get us there.
Yes.
Where we engage with each other respectfully, we listen and hear that the other person's experience.
It's all about choice. But if we all choose just to sit back and do nothing, then nothing's going to happen.
Look for opportunities and ways to develop them, not problems and ways to solve them.
Communities such small as Bermuda, there you can see the excesses right in your face. And there's so much excess. And are people really sharing all that excess? And we're lucky in Bermuda. We're not a third world country, and the issues that affect us aren't as deep as some of the other countries, but there still are issues, and there's a lot of excess funds out there that really are available to share to people. And so it's creating that sense of compassion and giving and desire, changing of hearts to want to share.
Suppose I don't have the time to give.
It doesn't take any time to write a check.
Well, I'm not talking about being personal.
But if people don't have time, because we talk about in church, we talk about three things in church. You need your time, talent, and treasure.
Yes.
So some people have time, some people have talent, some people have treasure.
Collaboration.
What you choose to share.
Collaboration. Okay.
Yeah, and that's collaboration too, because people have those different things.
You can't make effective policy, from your ivory tower. It has to be done on the streets, in the communities, or from a grassroots level, because that's the only way that you're really going to be able to see and identify what the real need is. And we have a whole segment of our society that are really living in, some really concerning ways. It is about those conversations and how to be able to share those stories. But it's the action part. It's the action part, right?
And this is what I said to the gentleman at the treatment center. It's like, talk. Now, let me take your hand and bring you over here and say, now, do something. Because I can't do it unless I have a big C word. Some collaboration.
One of the ladies was saying about knowing your core and knowing who you are and change and honor who you are and have the integrity behind what you speak and working for something in the dedication and the commitment that we have to have towards our goals. And then what we need to do as far as being proactive instead of reactive and having awareness and working together like they were saying from their different charities.
So we were talking about how do we create those opportunities for us to, like this, to have these more meaningful conversations.
You think people are so different from you, and until you engage with them and you have the conversation, you realize that there's so many more common threads than you could ever have possibly realized. But that doesn't happen enough. That people just step outside of their, comfort zone and go and talk to somebody that they don't know and say, tell me about you.
I think we're at the point now where people are starting to really move and from their heart's expression. Not what I think is right, not what my mom says or my dad says that I need to do, I need to take over this, but what is it that's really driving me inside my core that I can contribute to something inside myself, to my community.
It is all about collaboration. When I came to Amnesty and realized there were other fractious groups working under the umbrella of human rights, and from the plenary session this morning, it just reinforces that message that we can create a kind of loose coalition under several umbrellas under which we can all go under and all benefit from funding, from our efforts, from our events. And that message is more powerful together as a group.
When I am operating in the belief that we are all connected through what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, then we all work together and everything automatically comes up as one. So, moving to that 100% responsibility, that's my nugget. Taking 100% responsibility, knowing that everything is intercodependent and that nothing is separate.
My name is Shishton Badenduk, and I'm here as an individual. But I feel that the fundamental underlying problem is that we do not feel, as individuals, safe to speak the truth without judging them.
The one thing that came up was that word truth, being honest, and also intent. What is our intent as a country? What is the plan as a nation, as a country? Once we understand as a whole where we're going and what it is that we want to accomplish, being truthful individually and coming together as a country, we can get where we need to go.
One thing I took away is knowing how to take that first step. So not worrying about the entire plan, but just having the courage to be honest with yourself and with the people around you and knowing just how to take that first step, because you never know where that first step could lead.
At our table, our theme was Feel the Love, and we decided in a nutshell, together we can if we understand and accept our history. In other words, in order to move ahead, we need to look backwards.
This experience has led me to feel something very precise and understand something equally precise. The feeling is one of gratitude to all of us for actively participating in the creation of a space that has been safe and careful and marvelously self-aware. That's where genuine connections can be formed, protected, and expanded upon. And the thing that I have really understood as a result of these conversations is that the key to achieving the success that we want is through honoring our values sufficiently. Not just believing what we believe, but putting it into practice, converting our truths into concrete, measurable action.
On our table, there's quite a few things came up about passion and long-term commitment to our charities, and being true to ourselves, and you know, how change can not necessarily make friendships, but we have to be true to our core while we're working through our change, and being inclusive and having integrity around what we're doing. And then as a whole society, being proactive instead of reactive with some of the situations that are going on. But overall, we summarized it to say that, you know, the community is at a point where we need healing, and that we need bold and courageous leadership.
My name's Deborah Titterton-Narroway, and through all of our tables, the one kernel I've picked up is that we've all walked in the door for this conference with our own agenda, our own thoughts of what we were going to accomplish, our own reasons for being here, our own charities to represent. And through this session of connecting, respecting, trusting, sharing, communicating, we're all here for the exact same reason. And that's one another.
The one thing that struck me from this table was stop blaming, stop pointing, stop saying, just literally we need to stop and think what we're doing, how we can help each other, how we can support each other, instead of saying, well, we were here first and then you came along. And at the end of the day, it only takes, it's down to communication, it's down to listening and being there for each other and really taking the time. But words need to become action. And the only way we're going to do this is if we do it together.